And right now, joining us, we have BPS Records is here. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
So let's have all three of you introduce yourselves and tell us who you are and what you do in BPS Records, and then we'll talk about your involvement in tonight's show, of course. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Rita.
Hi, Rita.
Also known as Last Song Rita.
Okay.
As we just discussed. I'm the owner,
Okay.
founder, creator, all the above as well.
Very good. Welcome. And you?
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan. Okay. Welcome. And what do you do in this?
Basically, anything the boss tells me to do.
Whatever Rita tells you. Okay.
Whatever Rita tells me.
That's the only part true. He makes sure that I do everything that I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Very good. And you?
I'm Remy, and same. I just do whatever,
Whatever
she asked me to do.
Whatever Rita says.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you say Remy?
Yeah.
Remy. Okay. Welcome, Remy. So now tell us about your involvement in the show tonight with Swarmy Fest, as I believe we have firmly established. I'm now 100% certain it is taffeta. Not,
Nice.
not taffeta, but in Lowell.
I got to tell you, I looked it up when we were listening to the other interview. It is a lustrous silk, a fine lustrous silk, but its original Latin was to shine.
Okay.
So that kind of makes sense.
Right.
I dig it.
It might be taffeta if it were a Greek restaurant, right?
100%.
but it's not. I mean, there could be Greek food there. I have no idea. But okay, so what is so BPS Records is one of the sponsors of tonight's event? Is that?
Yep, sponsor partner with obviously with Sepsis. It's our first year. We are very, very happy to be here. It's like finding your people,
Yeah.
right? Like we're out there doing all this stuff on our own. It felt like for so long, and then it was like poof, organically here we are with the rest of our planet. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we're very, very happy to be here.
Okay.
Happy to be a part of it. He dove us right into the hosting of it, which is great. I love being an MC at my live shows, so I was like, it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
But just being in the thick of it, anything we can do to participate and make it happen is, what we're all about.
So it sounds like BPS Records. It sounds like it's been around for a while.
So it's so funny when people ask me that because it feels like forever and not forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's our life, so we're constantly building, living, and creating. We started the company in 2014.
Okay.
But it was like 2 years of we only started it legally, so we didn't lose it, right? So
Okay,
we
yep.
registered the name and did all, and then it was like about 2 years of really going, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be doing with the rest of my life. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So, and it kind of just grew from there, and it's milestone after milestone just popping up like little brush fires.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's never an end goal because like Will was saying earlier, if you're constantly doing it, then you're not finished.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're very similar in that aspect of it.
Right. Exactly. What was kind of the genesis of it? Like, what made you want to start this?
So I've been creating my whole life. So when I say that it was 2014, I realized that I've just been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
So there was, just living it. And my mother's a singer. My mother actually hooks at New Hampshire, out on bail ban. I want to throw that out there. I know she's listening.
Okay.
But it's been our lifestyle. So it's never been a job.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of branding it is what happened in 2014.
Okay.
So, I have children that are creators. So, one day I was like, what are we going to do there's no platform for the beautiful mind. So that's what BPS stands for.
Okay.
So, and, everybody's saying it's hobbies, it's this, it's that. And all this original artwork is being brushed to the side, so kind of, organically went together itself that way.
You said, so BPS, what does BPS stand for exactly?
Beautiful People Society.
Beautiful People Society.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a platform for art
Okay.
and just kind of grew into its own individual departments.
Okay.
Because we do everything for ourselves. So the independent artists, like the label itself is the label for the independent artist. So we're all making money off of our own talents and we're offering what we have for our talents to other people. So we all get up to that top where we want to be appropriately.
Okay.
It's not a crab barrel, you know what I mean? So I guess that's the best way I can answer it.
So because obviously, I hear the word records in the title. So, but it sounds like it's not necessarily a traditional record label, or
I mean, it is.
because the nature of record labels has changed so much over the years too, you know?
Yeah, so it's more like a production management as well. So we do have the recording studios in Middletown, Connecticut.
Okay.
So there's live recording, there's venue, it's like a venue as well. And then we have I like to call it my little whiskey a go-go because that's basically what it's turned into, where we filter at our restaurant. So it's like a cabaret lounge, you know, the old dinner and a show, but it's all original music.
Oh, wow.
And then we do a live stream show. Everybody likes to call it a podcast. I hate that word.
Really?
But yeah, only because we've kind of channeled in it a little bit differently. It's similar to what we see here, so I love seeing that.
Yeah.
But there's none of that going on down there, you know. So we do it live in the restaurant.
Okay.
So all that the label has turned into there is this the recording and the traditional stuff, but it's just so much more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then bringing it to the front for the public to see, to participate. We do a lot of hard work behind these scenes, as you know.
Yeah.
As you run around and do all the same stuff that I'm doing.
Oh,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So bringing it to the forefront so our listeners, our peers, or maybe other, you know, people networking with us can see that hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little of all the above.
Now, how often at the restaurant do you do this, where you have so you have the performers come in?
Yes, every Wednesday we do our
Every
show.
Wednesday? Okay.
It's an interview, and then they do like a preset performance,
Okay.
a preview performance, because then we book them after that. So
Okay.
they get like their own showcase stage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's usually like a 2-week window, so we can market. You can see. You don't want to go to places and be like, damn, I don't know who's playing, or only go to places because you know who's playing.
Right.
So you kind of get a little preview on the show a couple
Okay.
weeks before.
Okay.
Works out very well.
And then so they do that. So that happens on Wednesdays, and then if you book them, that's on a Friday or Saturday. Or?
Yeah, so the spotlight is on Friday. We do live music 6 days a week.
Oh, wow.
Except for the school year, we're family first. So Mondays
Yeah.
we're closed to
Yeah.
take care of our little ones. But Tuesday we do open mic comedy.
Oh.
But it's grown into filtering. So everything we do, we all, like I said, offer to other artists. So we've got a comedian that comes in and does a similar version of on my set of his podcast. That's now his live stream.
Oh, no kidding.
So we do the production for him and such. And
Oh, wow.
It's so great. But it's the only day we don't do music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's art, and art and creating is the big factor for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Honing your inner potentials to whatever that craft is.
Now when you talk about some of the other things that you do, I mean, do you release music with artists, or do you get into that part, or?
So we before the pandemic, everything was a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
So we're still trying to find our bearings in isolating things for that. But we definitely did, but our goal is a little bit bigger in that aspect. You know, we don't want to down anybody else's in the way they're doing it, but we want to do it better. So we want to have our own applications for original music that all go much like Bandcamp. I think you referred to Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I think they're 100% profits to the artist, correct?
No, they take. I think they take 10 to 15% depending on what it is.
See?
Misinformed.
Oh, yeah. We've been
Yeah.
misinformed. A lot of my guests were saying that they were 100% to the artist. That's good to know.
I mean, something could have changed. I could be wrong, but last I knew, they took a percent. At least if you're selling music through Bandcamp. Now it might be different if you're selling merch and you're shipping it yourself. That might be different. I'm not sure.
So we want to do it 100% to the artist. And
Okay.
Our big thing is getting the airplay for original music, getting everything to the forefront, like we said. And it's the same thing with that. When we get that, you know, organized enough to do it right,
Yeah.
it'll be all that. And there's no reason for me to make money off of other people's talents. I've clearly got enough of my own. I just got to keep participating in them
Right,
and
right.
not doing it for everybody else instead of myself. But,
Right.
and then that's the thing. So we want to do that.
Yeah.
We all should be. There's no room for the starving artists when we're all this talented, and we can all be helping each other. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the goal for that as far as the distribution. But you know, we do everything in the label paired for the artist. So there's no come sign up with us and we promise you all this stuff.
Right.
It's we don't go out looking for the artist. It's got to be organic. You know, we're not paying our bills off our record label.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's literally a platform to help the whole movement.
Okay.
So every single agreement of I hate the word contract because we're not selling anything.
Right. Right.
But it's a deal. When you come and say, this is what I need for my career, how do I get this done? We all need to help each other, right?
Yeah.
Or at least get help. So it itemizes down, one-stop shop for you. All of our departments open up because the studio it's not just music. So we do the portraits. We've got the film department. So you could do your videos at the studio.
Wow.
You could do your own versions of your podcasts and your shows, your album covers, the whole 9 yards. So.
Yeah.
And all we want is the credit. We want the branding credit.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing for me because it's such an overall company.
Right. Right.
Think about like when you see the little Playboy bunny everywhere. Everybody knows what that means.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what we're going for. So.
Exactly. Now, are there artists performing? Are there bands performing tonight at Swarmy Fest with whom you're currently working? Or
Not this year. Not this year. We definitely wanted to just participate wherever they put us in, but you bet your bottom dollar I'm gunning for a whole bunch of stuff next year.
yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. Now, so I'm curious, Jonathan and Remy, how did you both get involved in this?
When did we meet? I forgot. 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago you came in for
I came in for that oil wrestling thing.
the oil.
And I was like, sounds sick. I'm doing it. And that's how we met. And now we're besties.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Which part are you hung up on the oil wrestling part?
That's a thing. Like people still do that.
Well,
So all right.
it was supposed to be a thing.
It's so I'm gonna have to bring it up because it originated here.
Okay.
My old partner, the late great Captain Chris, a local DJ around here in Manchester, he did karaoke DJing.
Okay.
But he and I were at a place. Gosh, I'm gonna age myself a little bit, but 1995, and they were doing karaoke, and someone pulled out a pool and they filled it with Jello.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what would make this so much better? And it kind of developed into that. So we went and bought this big blow up wrestling mat type ring.
Yeah.
And we went on tour. We grabbed 6 girls and we went on tour. And it was the best thing that I ever did to keep myself in shape. And
Wow.
it was great. So we're bringing it back. Since he passed away, we're going to bring it back and just bring it on a whole different level.
Okay.
And that will be next year for sure
Okay.
at Swarmy Fest.
Okay.
Definitely.
Oh wow. All right. Interesting. So that's how you met, or
Yeah. That's
Okay.
how we met.
And-
I signed up for it, and it didn't happen, sadly. But it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
gonna
It's
happen.
got to be right.
Yeah.
But I do have her in. Oh, she's so very talented. So I have her in every aspect of everything we do.
Okay.
Like within our company, everybody is an artist or a creator of some sort.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of just jumping over each department and doing everything together. So it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dig it.
Excellent. And then Jonathan, how did you get involved?
So I got involved, I want to say, last year, August. I actually came down. She had a studio in Middletown, as she said. I sang and did some rapping and things like that at the studio. And then when she opened up her lounge, I came down every Thursday night. Every Thursday night we do a musicians jam there.
Okay.
It's a great time. We make music on the spot, all unrehearsed, all kind of freestyle. We have a drummer that comes there. He's the host. A guitar player always comes down, bass player, and then usually I just do the vocals.
Yeah.
But we met there, and it's been a kind of a partnership ever since. We kind of developed it more into a. Got to be closer. My
Yeah.
apologies.
There you go. Yeah.
We met there at the lounge on a nice Thursday night, and I've kind of been linked at the hip ever since. So
Excellent.
So this tends to happen in this industry because it's
Yeah.
we're doing so much and it feels so good to create, right?
Yeah.
So it's the support that we have in each one of our departments or venues is just like it's overwhelming in a positive way. Like it's like my children graduating from school.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's actually happening. Everything I believe in is happening because you see it with the support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Now, who else is involved? Are there other people currently involved in BPS? or-
Oh yeah, so big shout out to some of them people. We've got our drum master that he was referring to at our open jam, Chuck Peterson from The Adventures of Thaddeus Black. On my show, his lead singer of his band is the host of my show,
Okay.
Reverend Love Daddy. Just a little bit of everybody from all the bands and the work that we've been through along the way. It's just where they're all keepers.
Yeah.
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 So if something's going down, they're like, I want in. So a little bit of everybody.
Did I hear The Adventures of Thaddeus Black? That's
Yes.
that's the name of a band?
Yes.
That's a cool name.
You've got to look that band up, man.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
amazing.
For sure. All original, Connecticut natives. Phenomenal music.
Oh, very cool. Now, you mentioned something about your show. Do you also do you have a podcast or something? Or what?
I'm going to have to figure out what to call it.
Oh, that's right. You don't like that
We don't
word
like
podcast.
podcast's a bad word.
I don't know why. It's just the stigma, I think, of, it's not the same, right? So that for me is important, but it's not that big of a deal. It's called BPS Talks.
Okay.
Currently, we are filming it live at Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge on Main Street in Middletown, Connecticut. But we only are airing it on the Facebook
Okay.
because we're in transition of doing some really big things with the show. So, and some colleagues that we haven't quite made to terms with it yet, so I don't want to mention it. But
Sure.
bringing it to the next level, and then we'll have it on other platforms.
Yeah.
We keep them up there. You can link everything on the website, links to every department we have. So it's a big, long splash page.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. The term podcast, it's become a broader term over the years, because when I first started, I think I first started doing podcasting in I think it was 2006. Wow, is that long ago? But we didn't call it but the term podcast, you didn't even hear that word yet.
Right.
So at that time, but we were streaming, so we called it, my friends and I who were doing it, we called it internet radio, which is a term you never hear now. Now literally anything, like obviously we're live on FM radio right now, but we're also streaming to Facebook and YouTube and everything. And so it's like we're podcasting, but at the same time, but it used to be like then when the term podcast started being used, it seems like people referred to that as anything that was recorded, like recorded audio of a show was a podcast. But if you were going live, it was still called internet radio. But then over time, podcasts just became, if you're streaming, it's podcasting. If you're podcasting, you're streaming. And it's just kind of.
Well, it brings me back to like my whole, plan or my whole, the importance of my movement is bringing all that hard work that we're doing to the forefront. And I think I just always felt like it was being taken away with that whole, like you said, it was this, it was that.
Yeah.
So kind of combining the two is how I'm overcoming that negative stigma for me.
Yeah.
With my podcast clients, right? So
Yeah.
I'm true to my word and what I believe in. So if I catch myself being hypocritical, I'm like, okay, how do we fix this?
Right.
What do we do about it? Because creating is creating. So
Yeah.
open the platform for the podcast guys. Let's show them how it's done.
There you go. There you go.
Really. And they love it. They love every minute of it.
Absolutely. If you are just joining us, we have BPS Records here with us talking about, of course, getting to know them and all about BPS Records. And of course, they're a very important part of Swarmy Fest tonight at Taffeta in Lowell. I believe doors are at 5 p.m. 5, yeah. And Jenny and I will be there, of course. And
We shall.
yes. Really looking forward to that. Has BPS Records been involved in other shows like this, like what Swarmy Fest is?
Have we?
So
Really, yeah.
it's crazy because I was saying, like, it's so odd for me. I'm kind of appreciating being like the newcomer to Swarmy Fest because
Yeah.
I had the weight on my shoulders usually always because they're always my productions. So now since we've opened the lounge, it's attracted all these other great productions where now it's just, here's my room, here's my floor.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to always add to everything like that. But yeah, we did a CT Rock
Fest.
So
Okay.
we were just listening earlier.
Shout out Bob DeApril.
Yeah, Bob DeApril from CT Rock says he's been doing it for years as well. And I had never heard of him, right? So because we're all so focused on our movements and what we're doing.
Right.
So he had a spot show up, and I was like, he's like, can we do 12 bands in your place? And I was like, wait, like he thought it was going to be a problem. And I'm like, absolutely. He's like, wait, so you're just going to give me the place all day? What about your other customers? They said, well, they're going to have to listen to the music.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was 12 original, phenomenal bands.
Amazing.
You had, you always have your solo acts where you're like, okay, I see where they're going. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the point of it was just the promotion of the independent art. And they just kept going. When things went wrong, I was always like, give them my card. Like, I know how to fix that
Yeah.
next time, you know? But that was like one of my favorites.
Soundhound.
Soundhound Productions. That's another one. We do, it's four original bands back to back.
Okay.
And it's like, ska, punk, folk, everything. We actually, 2025, we have a lot more that we're going to be doing as far as answering that question. So
Yeah.
I know we got Eric Raboska from Highest Frequency Records in Connecticut. He's going to come take over the first Saturday of every month and kind of do the same thing, but a totally different line of musicians. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's so much great hard work out there.
Oh yeah.
And I just want everyone to see, like, we're not just paying record labels to play our music. Like, we're doing everything.
Right. Right.
And that goes for everyone that's a part of the movement. So,
Yeah. Do you ever have anyone approach you? Do you ever have a musician who approaches you who wants to work with you, but they're just not ready?
boy, do I ever. So that agreement that I was telling you about, it's
Yeah.
funny because it's now disclosed with what I'm intolerant to.
Okay.
Right? So it's
Smart.
because I don't have time for that.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
a mother as well as being a mother of all my creations,
Yeah.
I really just don't have time for that. So
Yeah.
if you don't have discipline to your own career, you don't even have to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But the dedication, the discipline, and the poise of what they taught you in karate class, for crying out loud, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like, we've learned everything we need to know in kindergarten about life. If you don't have that, then there's nothing we can do for you.
Yeah.
You may need a lot, which is great and fine, but that's the core stuff you have to come with. Your drive is the most important thing to original music.
Yeah.
We all have our ups and downs. I have my days where I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't go to the beach at all this year. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But it goes that way. So,
What do you always say? They party like rock stars before they make it.
yeah, that's the biggest downfall. It's like, what are you doing? So we do have a lot of mostly positive, but you do have a lot of people that come and then and I'm really a stickler with it. I love everything and I want to help everyone. But if in the first 3 seconds of what you play for me, I don't want to hear it anymore, you got a little more work to do. And I
Right.
know that sounds harsh, but
That's the reality of it.
It's
Yeah.
about being realistic with where you are
Yeah.
and
yeah.
what you want. But we never turn anybody away.
Okay.
If you come around and you need help even with those beautiful mind problems that we have, oh, squirrel, you know what I mean?
Right.
We attend to that. But
Yeah.
if you're just not good, you're not good. And
Yeah.
someone should tell you that.
Right.
I know that sounds rough.
No, but it's true. It's true. You're not doing anybody any favors by, pretending that they've got something that they don't have.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it can weaken their path in their creating if you put them in a room with people that might make them feel insecure about where they're at. And you don't want
Right.
to do that. You know?
Right.
So being honest is really hard. But
Yeah.
I do have some people that just think that there's some place that they're not. And I'll kindly tell them, just why don't you do this? Come on back, whatever.
Yeah.
But we always create a platform to perform. So at the studio, that's where you can work out those kinks and you go down there. Hey, take the room for a night. Throw yourself a concert. Be the highlight.
Right. Right.
Because that's important. If you can't, we talk about that all the time. If you have 5 people in a band, we're all supposed to be supporting one another, but it is very hard when all your friends are musicians.
Yeah.
You can't be anywhere, right? I mean, everywhere at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we will look at, the crowds that come in. If you got 5 people in a band and not one person comes, I mean, you've got a mom, you've got a wife, you've got a brother, you've got a husband. I mean, someone should be coming to support you.
Right.
So, those are the kinks, I think, putting the cart before the horse and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we offer that platform at the studio for them to get that stuff out of the way and learn that
Yeah.
organically.
Yeah. I feel like, in my own experience, working with musicians, and I used to play in bands, but I also, I do other things in the industry, and I feel like I've got an axiom. I've always said everybody wants to be a rock star, but only as long as it's easy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, and then some people, they're like, whoa, there's actual work involved. It's not all it's not all glamorous, and no, it is not.
Yeah, you got those people that come in and they're like, you gotta listen to my song
Right.
now. I'm it like that. They're gonna be discovered.
Yeah,
And it's like I have to be the bad guy. Be like, this is why we're the independent label for the independent artists.
yeah,
We're not gonna lie to you. We're not gonna do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah. The other delusion that I've always talked about is the mythical record company scout.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who play the same bar every weekend, and they're just convinced that
Love it.
any weekend now this mythical record company scout is going to walk in during their set and be so impressed with what they see and handing them a 5-album deal. And
It's so true. It's
Yeah.
so true.
yeah,
That's why I like to call it my movement rather than my label because of that stigma with it too.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, oh, and nobody gets discovered. This stuff is hard, man. Like I can't. Remy can't remember the last time she ate. Like we're
3 days ago.
You know what I mean? Like, we're constantly doing it. Like,
Yeah.
And they just don't get that.
yeah,
If you can't, and I get like there is the part-time artist, right? That is working a 9 to 5 because you have to have a 9 to 5 too, right? To cover it all, unless you can be 100% in it.
Yeah.
But like I only see my children because I've created family-friendly businesses. So, my teenager's in the kitchen cooking. He's making beats in the studio. My 10-year-old's telling my bartenders how to run the computer.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? You got to find a way to bring the two together to do that.
yeah,
For the part-time artists, we still give them that same love. Like creating is creating.
yeah,
And I love that. They don't even care where their music goes. They're just, you played that at your place? Yes.
right,
Like,
right.
So it's really just the movement of the creating and stuff.
Yeah.
Totally.
What would you say is the biggest misconception that you run into when these artists come to you? What or the biggest expectation they have that maybe they shouldn't, or
Well, if I'm going to pick one,
or you don't have to pick one.
okay, the first one that comes to mind is that I'm going to do your job.
But yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and because I'm guilty of that. I will catch myself going, why is this so hard? Because it's not my job.
right,
It's not my career.
right.
And I want to help and I want to do all that. It's that
Yeah.
nurturing part,
Yep.
But sometimes I got to turn around and switch the hat and be like, wait, you're supposed to do this. I had an artist that phenomenal. He had so much potential, and he still does, that I signed with. And it was always my fault that something wasn't getting done. And I would go back to my meeting minutes because now I keep meeting minutes. You were supposed to do this by this date so I could do all this. You
Yeah.
were supposed,
Yeah.
and they just don't understand the value and importance of keeping that
Mm-hmm.
that system. Like I can't shut down the house because you today wanted to do what you're supposed to do 2 months ago.
Right. Right.
Why am I not where I'm supposed to be? Well,
Yeah.
you have to do the work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing that we're just gonna do their jobs.
Yeah.
We are not a management label.
right.
We are having a hard enough time managing all our businesses.
Right. Right.
That is correct.
Yeah. And then other than that is like the organic nature of real original music. Like I will not let people sing over their own tracks. If you don't know the difference between a show mix and a performance mix
Yeah.
and a track, we got to bring you way back in the step in the process because that value is so different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Have you run into that a lot?
A lot more than you would think.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
the only it's kind of genre specifically more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hip hop. I would love to take over the hip hop world right now in Connecticut because there's
Yeah.
some phenomenal people. But the stigma because of that is so hard that people are just,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a quick buck, I guess, for them to start them, but they just really don't do it right.
Right.
So that would be a full-time job for me to
Yeah.
take on that.
Yeah.
But not as much in other genres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do get a lot of people that like. We had a big shout out to Jamie Starchild and the Dream Factory. He was a guest on our show last week. I was honored to have him there. Seeing he's got the same views as us too. Like that's big for me. Seeing these national big stars that are like, yeah, let's do this. What can I do with you? And I'm like, what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm starstruck on my own show, trying to keep it together. But he did this one-man show. And it was 15 minutes, and I needed more. But he was You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Doing this.
yeah.
So
That's
if you had your eyes closed, it would be like a Prince song because
Yeah.
he did everything.
Oh, wow.
And he sang. And so you have your stuff sometimes on backtracking when you're an independent, original, by yourself artist. But
Yeah.
we strongly love that when it's your craft.
Yes.
But if it's happening because you're not ready to perform, meaning you don't have a band, then again, put your priorities in order to get to where you need to be with your craft.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any like sort of success stories or anybody whom you've worked with who's really kind of, gone to that next level who you want to kind of give some shine to? Anybody you want to mention or?
Oh gosh, I feel like that. Oh my god, I don't think I can do that. Everybody's gonna be mad at me. For me though, what it is like I used to always tell everybody when they're like my contracts, right?
Yeah.
They're like, this has got to be a gimmick. You don't want anything from me. You're not gonna do this for me. You're gonna do that for me. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, if you come to me and someone finds you, like they all think it's gonna happen,
Right.
then
Right. Yeah.
hell yeah, I'll sign you out of that. Like, just let them know I hooked you up. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, wherever they go from there is not about that. So
Right.
to answer that question, there's a ton of people out there finally living through music, doing what they love appropriately. And, I don't want to take credit for that, but I love being a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even with my ties with the Adventures of Thaddeus Black, I have no connections in any way, shape, or form to their artistry and what they do other than they're participate in my movement.
Yeah.
And for me, what I do for that is we nonstop promote and market as well. So it goes both ways in every area of it. We'll go to their shows, the PR that we do for our guests, the eliminating of these crazy outrageous fees for artists.
Yeah.
Because if you're a part of our movement, it means you've been on our show, you've attended our places, and then you get this member access for pricing, right? Because
Okay.
we do have to make money, right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So all of my talents are making money. I'm making T-shirts for the public as well as for bands.
yeah.
Small businesses helping each other. So it's really this really big web of artistry and basically changing the world so we can all afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My building and zoning department told me I rewrote the Chamber of Commerce. So the way my brain works, just out in the hallway, I was like, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to make BPS a Chamber of Arts
Yeah.
and just make it happen for the state,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Is there an kind of what's an example of something that artists need that they don't know that they need? Like when they come to you, something that you can do for them that they didn't even think was important.
oh,
That's a great question.
but structure. First of all, structure
Yeah,
right away. Like
yeah.
that's the most valuable for the beautiful mind 'cause we want to do everything all at once, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The things like the branding yourself. I think people think the work itself is branding,
yeah.
and it's not. And if you are I'm all over the place. I keep opening businesses because I have that much more to do in
Yeah.
my brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if there isn't a line of branding for it, if you're doing rock today and then you're doing rap tomorrow, that's phenomenal talent. But how do you organize it to maintain that, for the long term of it?
Right.
And so that I think is the most part is really situating a plan.
Yeah.
They don't have a plan sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
The plan is to get famous
Right.
for most of these people.
Right.
But we're always talking about, just in common conversation, like Will and I and, my guys on my show and everyone that we know down there for musicians. Like Jamie said it best. We're like, where do you see yourself in the future? He's like, hopefully still working.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this, if I get, like Will said earlier, if I get there, then I'm done.
Yeah.
There should for us, we're doing what our main and long-term goal is regardless of the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So even if for some reason I'm not able to juggle all this phenomenal stuff and it doesn't pass off to my kids or some other great young artist, I'm still going to be in my own studios and I'm still going to be talking everybody's ear off on my shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to keep creating.
Yeah. Now, if someone wants to, this show, we know a lot of industry people listen and a lot of musicians listen. If someone's interested in working with you, like what should they do? What's the best way to go about reaching out?
So I got a lot of avenues, but if you go to the website, you can always click my email. But the problem is I've got so many emails. so I did put my personal cell phone on my website. I know a lot of people say not to do that. Text me, call me. I will get back to you. And that is the best way. Reach out directly or come on down.
Yeah.
You know, I live at my lounge, unfortunately, because that's like the hub for everything right now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure as soon as we're remodeling the studio right now.
Oh.
So in a couple of weeks, I'll probably be glued to the studio again. You know what I mean? So you just come down. I'm at 544 Main Street in Middletown, Connecticut.
Okay.
The website is bpslife.com. And there's some great stuff on there. So all my merch on there are from other artists as well.
Okay.
So this kind of grows into everyone else's platform, and I don't take any of their money.
Yeah.
You know, I take whatever I would have, because we make everything in-house.
Yeah.
So whatever the customer is buying, we take it off the VIG, you know, what we would have charged you anyways as a merchandise.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
everybody platforms, it's like, what is that other one, Etsy?
Yep.
Everybody uses Etsy, and I was like, no, this is all wrong.
Yeah.
We got to do this right here on the ground level.
Right.
So, you know, check out some of that stuff on there because it's artists sharing each other's work.
Yeah.
But that's the best way to reach me. Either drop in and say, stop what you're doing. I need to talk to you. I like that best. I'm old fashioned.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Before we run out of time too, let me just ask you, so what do you want, anything that we didn't talk about that you want to make sure people know about BPS Records and or anything about the show tonight too that maybe we didn't talk about today that you want to make sure people know? Because obviously you're going to be there. I assume will all three of you be there tonight?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
We definitely want to reach out to target as much of New England, and it's nostalgic for me to be here. So I'd love to get some artists from up here to come down there. We just want to cross-pollinate, I said the other day.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. You know, we do everything local in Connecticut, but I lived here for most of my adult life. So I would love to be able to.
Like here in Manchester?
Manchester, yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. I'm originally from Lynn, Mass, but they forced me here in 5th grade. And
No kidding.
I did not come easily, but
Lynn, City of Sin.
never come out the way you went in. Ask for water, we'll give you gin. Never trust a girl from Lynn. But yeah, so for me, it's just reach out. Everybody's like, oh, well, what kind of genres? All genres. I don't care if you made up your own genre.
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of ability of connecting. We have a lot of networking, and we have a great roster of other labels and everything we're doing. You know, we've all kind of just got together and we're doing it. So
Yeah.
whatever you got, bring it on.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. We're so honored to be here tonight with
So honored.
with the Swarmy Fest that I just want to let it rock and meet everybody and then see what we do next year.
Yeah.
You know, we're in for the long haul with Sepsis, so you're going to be seeing a lot of different things with us as we cross-pollinate.
Excellent. And being in Connecticut too, you must cross paths with Dead by Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we loved it by Wednesday.
Yeah.
I just saw them at Toad's Place.
Yeah, Toad's
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot about Toad's Place because I've been so on the grind. But they were down there with Sepsis and a couple of bands. It was a great show.
Last time I saw them, no joke, was like 15 years ago.
Really?
Because I used to do, I used to promote a lot of shows. Like I used to do shows. Well, you probably remember the Uptown Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I worked there.
Oh, you did?
I was a good old bartender there.
When? We've probably met.
We must have.
It's very likely you and I have met before at some point.
This isn't my real hair.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Funny.
One of many.
We must have.
yeah.
I did think your name sounded familiar when I was like, I gotta know this guy.
Yeah.
No way I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, most likely we've met. But yeah, I had Dead by Wednesday there. Might have been more than 15 years actually. But anyway, that was the last time I saw them was at the Uptown.
Yeah, we did a lot of, it was the Spiderweb. Remember the Spiderweb?
Yes.
We did a lot of good stuff over there too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, really looking forward to tonight. Thank you, all three of you, for coming in.
Very happy to be
having
here.
us.
Honored to be here.
This has been wonderful. Swarmy Fest, of course, tonight at Taffeta, or is it? It's Club Taffeta, technically, right? Is it Club
Taffeta
Yes.
Music Hall.
Taffeta Music Hall? Thank you.
I got it.
I knew there was more to the name.
In Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
The Hall to Shine.
Have you been there already? Have any?
I hadn't been, but we had group wise sent videos and everybody went to check it out.
Yeah.
So we saw it, video footage, but
Yeah.
I've not
Seems
been
like a
there.
nice place.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, looking forward to it. Should also, Jenny, you want to plug your website and mention the art art showing at Mosaic.
Absolutely. You can check me out at jencoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com. Find all my musings, artwork, and so forth there. And don't forget to check out the mosaicartcollective.com for more information on the next show, Small Wonders Miniature Art Show, opening on November 8th right here in the Queen City, located in the Daily Mirror building at 66 Hanover Suite.
Yes.
Suite 201.
And then we should also mention too,
Yes.
after Swarmy Fest, which is tonight, the
Yes.
next big festival that we're involved in is Spelfie
It's
Fest.
Spelfie Fest, which is going to come up on November 24th, be held right near us here at Jewel.
Yes.
And we'll have more information coming soon. But we're excited.
Yes.
Lots of bands, music, artisans, and they're actually doing this as a fundraising event to raise awareness and funds for the treatment of complex regional pain syndrome.
Yep.
And the organization RSDSA, which is the national organization here in the United States for people with CRPS like me.
Yes, absolutely. Sister Witch Company at 1193 Hooksett Road in Hooksett. They've got the big lighting of the Yule tree coming up on November 22nd from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. And then they've got I should look at the email to make sure I get it right because I have a hard time saying it. The Magical Market Small Business Psychic Event. That's going to be on November 30th from 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you can get more information on that and everything they've got going on there at sisterwitchcompany.com. And we'll close the show out with one more sepsis track. But BPS Records, thank you again, all three of you. This has been wonderful. We hope to see you tonight in Lowell at the Taffeta Music Hall. Music Hall?
Yes.
Music Hall. Taffeta Music Hall.
Very
trying
well
to make sure I get the name right. Now that we've established it's not a food, it's a, what did you say it was?
It's a place to shine. No,
Yeah, but
it's
that.
It's also
a lustrous silk fabric.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yes. Very good. Very good. All right. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit. And at my website, mattconnerton.com. And that's it for us for now. Hope to see you tonight. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.